Good morning. This is Dr. McDaniel at GYN Corner. I'm a board-certified obstetrician gynecologist in New York City, and I'm bringing to you all things health-related for women. Thank you for joining me at the corner today, and thanks for hitting the like buttons, the subscribe buttons, and checking out the YouTube channel. It's GYN Corner. And the podcast. We're on all of the platforms for the podcast. It's GYN Corner. The YouTube channel does lag the Facebook by about, I think we're lagging by about 2 to 3 weeks now. And the podcast is lagging. The podcast is nice if you want to catch up from older presentations, but the podcast is lagging the Facebook and the YouTube by probably about, I think maybe 7 or 8 months or so. I think the podcast is back 8 months ago is where the podcast is, and that the YouTube channel is only lagging by about 3 weeks for the Facebook. The Facebook is the most up to date. The Facebook is the current one. So let's see. Today is the third installation on pelvic pain, and I spoke previously how we evaluate pelvic pain. We find out when it started, what things make it worse, what things make it better, what type of pain: dull, achy, crampy, sharp stabbing, a burning, a heavy pressure, and exactly where it's located. Some people erroneously come in and say they're having pelvic pain when it's abdominal pain. And then, is it really vaginal pain, or is it in the lower belly, contained within the pelvic bones, below the bikini line or the pelvic brim? I mentioned that we check to see if there's an infection. So is it a bladder infection? Is it chlamydia, gonorrhea? And then that on a rare occasion, a small percentage of women will have their pelvic pain from douching or from having intercourse while they're bleeding on their menstrual cycle, because those can both potentially swoosh bacterial-laden fluids and blood into the uterine cavity and then out into the pelvis. Now, I'd also mentioned that I don't do a pelvic exam on everyone who's having pelvic pain. It's not necessary, because eventually, if it persists, in the following month, she would get a sonogram. But I will examine someone who's having pain, whose pain is with intercourse, or if it sounds like the pain is vaginal pain, it's not actually pelvic pain. So if it sounds like it's vaginal pain, or she's having pain with intercourse, I will do a vaginal pelvic exam. And sometimes that pain is because she has a herpes outbreak. So the herpes outbreak is right at the vaginal opening, and with pain, she's having lots of burning or sharp stabbing or needle pricks, or she just says it hurts. So I'll take a look, and sometimes there will be a herpes outbreak at the vaginal opening or around lower or on the side or up by the clitoris. And then other times it'll be a really bad yeast infection that just is clumped up on the vaginal walls like moss on a cave. The lady never saw a discharge because it's so thick and clumped up that she doesn't see a discharge. She doesn't have itching because nothing's flowing, but with intercourse and the friction, it causes burning and swelling and horrible discomfort. So I'll do an exam when there's vaginal pain. Occasionally, I've seen, I won't say occasionally, I'll say maybe 20% of the time, the pain will be because there's a big tear in the vagina, and after questioning, she'll say, yeah, there was a little bit of bleeding, but sometimes not. And there'll be a tear. So when she has intercourse, that tear gets stretched. And especially if it's right at the vagina, in the lower third of the vagina, it gets stretched. So there'll be pain because she has a tear or a rip, or even like a skid mark. An abrasion is what we call that, but it'll be a skid mark. And I will do a pelvic exam if she says it's a heavy pressure or a point pain, where it's just like one spot, the left side or the right side, point pain. I'll do an exam because I want a heads up to see if there's a potential mass. So, or if her belly is tender, or if she has a fever, obviously, to see if it feels like there's a fluid collection in the pelvis. Sometimes women will have large fibroids. They won't know that they have the fibroid uterus. They haven't had an evaluation or seen one in years. And if the fibroid outgrows its blood supply, we call that degeneration, and there will be sharp point pain where the fibroid is degenerating. When I touch it, when I do the exam, I'll feel a large, bubbly, bulbous, lumpy, nodular uterus. And when I touch the fibroid, it'll be exquisitely painful. So those are the circumstances that I'll do a pelvic and a vaginal exam for. So I hope that's been helpful information on part 3 of the pelvic pain series. So thank you for joining me here at GYN Corner. This is Dr. McDaniel, and I'll come back with part 4 on pelvic pain at the next presentation. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.